You've probably seen them everywhere. Those tiny seeds people toss into their yogurt, smoothies, or salads. Chia and flax seeds have become the absolute stars of health food aisles and wellness influencers. But there is a lot of conflicting noise out there. Some call them a superfood miracle, while others say they are just an overrated nutritional gimmick. But here's the real question, the one you might be asking yourself right now. What actually happens inside the body of someone over the age of 60 who eats them every single day for 3 months? I am not talking about marketing claims or Instagram trends. I am talking about rigorous clinical studies with real people, real blood markers, and real measurements. The answer is both simpler and more impressive than what you're usually told. I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a physician specializing in senior health and longevity. Today, I'm going to explain exactly what these two seeds do to your body after 60. We will look at the documented benefits, the critical differences between the two, the mistakes you must avoid, and the absolute best way to eat them. Let me tell you about a patient of mine named Evelyn. She was 66 when she first came to see me with a list of frustrating symptoms. She had chronic constipation, her LDL cholesterol was sitting at 165 milligrams per deciliter, her blood pressure was slightly high at 138/86, and she had painful joint swelling in her fingers. Her primary doctor had suggested starting a statin for her cholesterol, but she wanted to try a nutritional approach first. Together, we built a 12-week protocol, and chia and flax seeds were a core part of it. The results we measured at the end of those 3 months surprised even her regular physician. To understand why this works, we have to look at what makes these two seeds nutritionally exceptional. Chia and flax share 3 remarkable biochemical profiles: an incredible concentration of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, known as ALA, a massive amount of both soluble and insoluble fiber, and a high content of lignans, which are phytonutrients with powerful anti-inflammatory and hormonal properties. But they aren't identical. Their profiles differ in ways that should guide your choice depending on your health goals. Chia seeds contain about 17 grams of ALA omega-3s per 100 grams, which is one of the highest concentrations in the plant kingdom. They also pack 34 grams of fiber, mostly soluble fiber in the form of mucilage. That's the viscous gel that forms when they touch water. They also contain 630 milligrams of calcium, which is actually more than milk, along with magnesium, phosphorus, and complete proteins. Flax seeds, on the other hand, have about 22 grams of ALA omega-3s, slightly more than chia. But their real superpower is their lignan concentration, which is 75 to 800 times higher than any other food. These lignans are particularly precious for postmenopausal women. Flax is also rich in fiber, but it has more insoluble fiber than chia, which explains why its laxative effect is much more pronounced. Now, let's look at what specifically happens in your body when you consume them daily for 12 weeks. The first effect is a measurable improvement in cholesterol. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which looked at 28 different studies, concluded that regular flaxseed consumption reduced LDL cholesterol by an average of 5 to 10% in adults with high levels. This happens because the soluble fibers trap cholesterol in the gut and eliminate it before it can be absorbed, while the lignans reduce the reabsorption of cholesterol-rich bile salts. Similar studies on chia seeds showed an LDL reduction of 3 to 7%. It's slightly less than flax, likely due to the lower lignan content, but still very significant. The second effect is a reduction in blood pressure. The omega-3s in both seeds have a documented vasodilator effect. They stimulate the production of anti-inflammatory prostaglandins and reduce vascular resistance. A study in the journal Hypertension showed that daily flax seed supplementation for 6 months reduced systolic pressure by 10 points and diastolic by 7 points in hypertensive adults. To put that in perspective, a 10-point drop in systolic pressure corresponds to a 35% reduction in stroke risk. That is a clinically massive result. Chia seeds have shown comparable effects in several pilot studies as well. The third effect is the regulation of your digestion. The soluble fibers, especially the mucilage in chia, absorb water in the colon, increasing stool volume and accelerating transit. This is usually the first thing people notice, often within the first week. For those struggling with chronic constipation, flax seeds have an extra advantage. Their insoluble fibers mechanically stimulate the colon walls, amplifying the contractions that move things along. The laxative effect of flax is more powerful than chia, which is great for constipation, but something to be careful with if you have a sensitive or irritable colon. The fourth effect is the reduction of inflammation. The omega-3s in these seeds are partially converted into EPA and DHA in your body, which are long-chain fatty acids with potent anti-inflammatory properties. While this conversion is limited, it still contributes to a better inflammatory balance. A meta-analysis in Nutrition Reviews showed that regular consumption of flax and chia significantly reduced C-reactive protein, a key marker of systemic inflammation, by 15 to 25%. For my patient Evelyn, whose joint pain was likely inflammatory, this meant a noticeable reduction in swelling after just 8 weeks. Fifth is the stabilization of blood sugar. The gel formed by chia seeds slows down gastric emptying and the absorption of carbohydrates. This can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by 20 to 35%. This is a major benefit for anyone with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. A study in diabetes care showed that adding just 15 grams of chia seeds to a standard meal reduced the 2-hour blood sugar peak by 35% compared to the same meal without the seeds. Sixth is bone health support. This is often overlooked, but chia seeds are exceptionally rich in bioavailable calcium. As I mentioned, they have more calcium than milk. When you combine that with their magnesium and phosphorus, they become one of the best plant-based allies for bone density after age 60, a time when the risk of osteoporosis increases significantly. Finally, the seventh effect is on satiety and weight management. Because of the fiber and protein, these seeds keep you feeling full much longer. One study showed that adding 25 grams of chia to breakfast reduced total calorie intake for the rest of the day by up to 12%, simply because the person wasn't as hungry for their next meal. But you have to eat them correctly to get these results. Rule number 1. Always eat flax seeds ground. Whole flax seeds will pass right through your digestive tract without being digested because their shell is impermeable to your enzymes. Using a small coffee grinder to mill them fresh releases the omega-3s and lignans. Only grind small amounts and keep them in the fridge for no more than 3 days, as the oils oxidize quickly. Rule number 2. Chia can be eaten whole because its shell is porous. But for the best nutrient absorption, soak them in liquid for 15 to 30 minutes before eating. The gel that forms makes them much easier to digest. Rule number 3. The dose. For flax, aim for 2 heaping tablespoons of ground seeds a day. For chia, 2 level tablespoons of soaked seeds. Start slowly, maybe half a tablespoon for the first week, to let your gut adjust to the extra fiber. Rule number 4. Hydration is mandatory. These fibers absorb a huge amount of water. If you don't drink enough, they can actually cause constipation instead of fixing it. Make sure you're drinking at least 50 to 60 ounces of water a day. Which seed should you choose? For cholesterol and hormonal balance, prioritize flax. For blood sugar, satiety, and bone health, Prioritize chia. For inflammation, they are both great. Ideally, do what Evelyn did and combine both. 1 tablespoon of ground flax and 1 of soaked chia per day gives you the best of both worlds. But avoid the common mistakes. Don't store ground flax at room temperature for weeks. Oxidized fats are pro-inflammatory, which is the opposite of what we want. Don't increase your dose too fast, or you'll deal with gas and bloating. And very importantly, if you are on blood thinners like warfarin, talk to your doctor first. High doses of omega-3s can have a mild anti-platelet effect. At the end of her 12-week protocol, Evelyn came back with her labs. Her LDL had dropped from 165 to 141, a 15% reduction. Her blood pressure was down to 129/79, which is within the normal range for her age without medication. Her constipation was gone, and her finger joints felt significantly better. Her doctor decided to hold off on the statin prescription and reevaluate in 6 months. Evelyn told me she never would have believed 2 spoonfuls of seeds in her morning yogurt could change her blood work that much. It's not magic. It's biochemistry applied with consistency. If you have a bag of chia seeds in your pantry right now, go soak 2 tablespoons in some almond milk or water for tomorrow morning. It's the simplest first step toward a measurable transformation of your health. Subscribe to the Dr. Sarah Mitchell channel for more science-based medical information tailored for your body after 60. Your body deserves seeds that work for it. Give them a try. I'll see you soon. A common question people ask is whether they should just take omega-3 fish oil capsules instead. The answer depends on your goal. Fish oil provides direct EPA and DHA, which are superior for heavy-duty cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory needs. However, seeds provide fiber, lignans, and calcium that capsules don't have. The ideal strategy after 60 is to do both: seeds for the nutritional complexity and fatty fish, or a supplement for the direct marine omega-3s. Also, remember that these seeds are prebiotics. They feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut, like Bifidobacterium, which can actually help produce more GABA, a neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and better sleep. For those with type 2 diabetes, these seeds are incredible allies, but be careful. Because they are so effective at lowering blood sugar, they might enhance the effect of your medication and cause a drop that's too low. Always keep your doctor in the loop. Integrating them is easy. You can make a simple chia pudding by mixing 3 tablespoons of seeds with a cup of milk and letting it sit overnight. You can stir ground flax into Greek yogurt, add it to salad dressings, or even mix it into soups after cooking. It isn't what you do once that changes your health. It's what you do every day for weeks and months. Get those seeds out of the cupboard tonight, start your 12-week clock, and let the numbers speak for themselves in 3 months. Be well.